my name is Ellie and I cannot wait to bake with you guys in your homes today. Today we are making chocolate chip M&M cookies. These are one of my favorite kinds of cookies, especially because it has double chocolate. What can get better than that? Today the M&Ms are going to be Easter colored, so it's going to get into the springtime feel. So let's get started. For our special chocolatey cookies, we need just a few ingredients, but I'm going to tell you them all now, that way you can pause this video and go get them. So the first thing we need is a stick of butter. So a stick of butter is also known as half of a cup. So when you look at a recipe and it says half a cup, that doesn't mean you have to measure it. That means it's one stick. You will also need 1 egg. You will need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 cups of flour. Flour is our thickening agent. It's gonna make it into that dough consistency. You're gonna need a half a cup of chocolate chips. I'm using mini chocolate chips, but you can use regular if you don't have mini. I like minis just so you get extra chocolate in your cookies. And then you're gonna need regular sugar, also known as granulated sugar. This is just a simple white sugar. Your parents probably have it right there in your kitchen. You probably look at it all the time. Maybe some of you put it in your coffee or tea. I know I do. And then you're gonna need brown sugar. Brown sugar is a little bit thicker, but it makes the cookies a little bit darker, and with this kind of sugar, it's extra sugary. So go ahead and pause this video now and go get your ingredients. All right, now that we have all of our ingredients, the next thing we need to do is put together the dough. So our first step is to turn on the oven. This recipe requires our oven to be set to 375 degrees. So you're gonna go over to your oven and you're gonna click Bake 375, enter. I know some people's ovens are different, so if you need a parent, go ahead and ask. Don't be afraid to ask. The oven does get hot, so make sure you do have a parent standing by to help you take things in and out of the oven. Second step is we're gonna cream our butter and sugars together. Notice I said 2 sugars, right? We've got our granulated and our brown sugar. Our first ingredient we're putting in our bowl is our softened butter. Now our butter has to be at room temperature. So it's okay if you just got it out of the fridge, you can pop it in the microwave for a few seconds. But if you already have it out, perfect. Just make sure when you touch it, it's kind of squishy. So that's how you know. All right, we're gonna put our butter into the bowl. Then we're gonna take our sugars. We've got a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. When you measure, you may want to flatten it out with your finger to make sure you have the perfect amount of sugar. You're gonna dump that into your bowl. Next is your brown sugar. Now brown sugar to me kind of looks like sand, but it doesn't taste like sand, I promise. It's just a little bit thicker and kind of more packable than granulated sugar. Now that we have our butters and sugars into the bowl, we're going to mix it up. Now I'm using a handheld mixer today, but if you have a standing mixer, you can use that too. It's really the same thing. If you want to mix it by hand, it'll be a little bit more difficult, especially because the butter is not melted. So I recommend using a handheld or standing mixer. So the first thing we do is put our mixer in the bowl. We want to make sure we don't just start the mixer like crazy and turn it on to number 7. That'd be a little crazy. One time I did that and I got flour all over my face. We don't want to do that. So we're going to keep it on 1 or 2. I am going to start off with 1. And we're just going to mix it up in a circular motion. So once you get it all mixed up, we want it to be super creamy. We don't want to look like, we don't want to have any butter chunks. We want to have a smooth consistency. Okay, now that our butter and sugars are creamed together, we're gonna bring out our spatula. So you can use really any type of spatula. Mine's kind of a circular spoon shaped. I also have just flat spatulas that are like this. Either one that you have, or you can even use a spoon. The way we're gonna use our spatula is we're gonna scrape downward into our bowl because we wanna make sure that all of the ingredients are at the bottom of our bowl, so that way when we put our mixer back down, we can mix it all at once. So next step is our egg and our vanilla. So we want 1 large egg. You can use white or brown, but typically white eggs are better because they're a little bit larger. So I already cracked this egg. Right after you crack your egg, go ahead and go wash your hands. This thing is the vanilla. So I've just got some regular vanilla here. You can get it at Target, Kroger, really anywhere. And I'm just gonna fill it up to 1 teaspoon. Make sure it says teaspoon and not tablespoon. The difference is teaspoon is TSP and tablespoon is TBSP. We want to make sure we don't put a tablespoon of vanilla in our recipe. One time I had a girl put a tablespoon of salt. Let's just say it was not a sugary cookie, it was more like a saltwater cookie. So now we're gonna put our mixer back in and we're just gonna mix around our egg and our vanilla. This is gonna be a faster mix than our sugars and butter mixture because it's just 2 extra things and it's already liquidy. Okay, now that we have our wet ingredients done, we're gonna start adding our dry ingredients. So the dry ingredients are what makes it thick and makes it into that dough texture. So our first ingredient is flour. We're gonna add 1 cup of flour, 1.5 cups of flour. So again, just like the sugars, level it out with your fingers or you can even get a spoon. Then you're gonna take your 1/2 cup and you're gonna level it out and put it right into the bowl. Next is our salt. So we wanna have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, not 1/2 tablespoon, teaspoon. So you're gonna pour it carefully. Be careful if it comes out too fast. If you get a little extra in there, just take a little bit extra out of your teaspoon. Now we're gonna do our baking soda. Level it off and put it right into the bowl. So this is our mixture so far. We've got our butter and sugars on the bottom of the bowl, and then now we have our flour. So next step is mixing it again. We wanna make sure we mix it on low this time. This one has to be on 1 because if not, it's gonna blow up in your face. Not like a bomb, but you're gonna have a flour bomb on your face and you're gonna have to clean it up. So just keep it on 1 and go in circular motions again until it's a thick dough. Okay, now that our dough is thick and you can form it into like a ball, you're gonna notice that your mixer has a bunch of dough in it. So you're gonna keep it low into your bowl, not all the way down. You're gonna turn your mixer on medium and it's gonna slowly dough comes out. And there you go, you've got clean beaters. Don't worry if you have a standing mixer. If you have a standing mixer, you can just scrape it out with your spatula. It'll take a lot less time because your beaters are smaller on your handheld. All right, next is the good stuff. We've got the chocolate. So we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. You don't have to be as exact with chocolate chips because if you have a little more, it's all good. All right, now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of M&Ms. Now these M&Ms, like I said, are special M&Ms because they're Easter colored. Instead of turning our mixer back on, we want to mix it by hand because if we turn the mixer on, it's going to smash all of our chocolates and it's going to look like a mess. So we're going to use our hand and we're just going to mix it around in a circle. So you're going to mix it in a circular motion. You want to make sure all those chocolates are in there. Yum. You're going to have to use your muscles a little bit. This is the workout for the day. Or the calories burned before you eat the cookies. All right, next up is putting our cookies on the tray. So I have my cookie sheet here. I have a silicone mat, but if you don't have one of those, it's okay. You can use parchment paper or you can lightly butter your pan. I also have a cookie scoop. This is super easy to use, or you roll it with your hands, but I like this better. That way they're more equal in size. Okay, so in order to scoop, you're just going to put it in the bowl like this and put it straight down. I would recommend about 12 cookies on each sheet. So you're gonna make 4 rows of 3, or you can make 3 rows of 4. Whatever you want, but they both equal 12. Okay, now that our cookies are all scooped and put on the pan, we're going to carefully put them in the oven. Again, if you don't feel comfortable with this, please ask an adult. So, my oven is preheated. I'm just gonna put them straight in very carefully, and then now we're gonna bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes. All right, so our cookies are out of the oven and they smell so good. Super chocolatey and warm and golden brown. So I'm gonna use a spatula to take them off the cookie sheet and place them on a plate. That way they continue to cool. So if you need help from a parent, the pan is super, super hot. So make sure you're extra, extra careful and don't burn yourself. So this is the final product, guys. As you can see, they're super chocolatey. They look so good and golden brown. All right, so here we go. We're gonna try it. They're really good. Super chocolatey and soft. Perfect for a day inside, while you're at homework, or for lunch. Thank you so much for watching my first YouTube video. It was so much fun. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And someone wants to try a cookie. I don't think so. Maybe we'll have to try that one time. Maybe we'll have to make dog treats. But comment down below on what we should make next. Thanks, guys. See ya.